In the latest Kreia's Conundrums, The Virtues of Chaos, I brought up the community poll I ran where I asked people if Kreia is an agent of chaos or order. I proceeded to explain why I agreed with the 13% of those who chose chaos. If you haven't seen that video yet, then I highly recommend that you do, especially before watching this video. I'll have a card show up for it now and I'll leave a link to it in the description box below. The thing is that I brought up the poll but didn't highlight any of the comments that were left on the poll. Many of you know that I sometimes like to do videos like this going through the poll results, so I figured I'd do this one, especially since it's related to a Kreia's Conundrums video. Let's start with one of the few people who agreed with me on this. Diana Barnett wrote, "Seeing as her ultimate goal is to overthrow the prevailing order of the universe and letting the cards fall where they may, I'm gonna go with chaos," which puts her in stark contrast to both the Jedi and the Sith, who are obsessed with order in one fashion or another. She pretty much hit the nail on its head right there in a very succinct fashion. Like I said in the main video, many people would see the Jedi as an agency of order and the Sith as one of chaos. But that can't be true since the Sith have their own beliefs, rules, hierarchies, and governments. They simply believe in a different kind of order. One that involves the Force, which, in their minds, is a tool to be used, and not a being that uses them as tools to be used. Used for what? Its own idea of order. This balance that the Jedi keep referring to. Kontrabrzitswa Okama, nailed it, wrote in response to Diana something I've expressed to people before, but I don't think I've ever said in a video. This part right here. In a way, without the Force, there would be no Star Wars. There would be no grand narrative, no conflict, no great plot, no discord, and no chaos on such massive scale. And technically, she is right, but then again, without the Force, there would be no Star Wars for us to enjoy, or ever hear of. So in a way, this character stands with opposing interest not only to some characters within her universe, but to fans as well. You know who the Force is in reality? The writers. Whoever is writing a Star Wars story is taking on the role of the Force. From a big Disney production to fanfiction, congratulations, you're the most manipulative entity to ever exist in the Star Wars universe. The question remains, however, have events in our universe been written? People wonder this all the time. Maybe fate is a thing and everything is written in stone by some god, particle physics, or this is all a simulation. Try not to think about it. Nur es problem chind wrote, "She is an agent of change. She doesn't just mindlessly push around events, rather she does things selectively, subtly, and precisely to achieve certain ends. That end being dissolution of the Force's influence, and yes, by fighting fire with fire. Manipulation on a galactic scale, just like the Force. Her vision of ending the status quo with the Jedi and changing them inevitably leads to chaos, but should lead to greater stability in the long term. Although if Kreia's plan had resulted in the Force's removal from the galaxy, the Jedi wouldn't have changed, they would cease to exist. The order that's been built around them falls apart, leading to, like he said, chaos. And within that chaos lies opportunity. The chance to build something new, disconnected from the Force and its influence that resulted in constant, senseless holy wars, aka greater stability." Joaquin Gonzalez wrote, "I think your answer really depends on what you think of the Force." Very true. If you believe that the Force is a god of love that could only ever have our best interest at heart and could do no wrong, then you would probably classify Kreia as an agent of chaos, but not for the same reasons I listed. You would most likely equate chaos as being nothing but quote-unquote bad things and call it a day. Al Chapo wrote, "Her goal is to free the galaxy of the Force and its will. She is a liberator. Her means are to destroy the established order, so in a way, she is chaos. But she wants the old orders gone for a new one, a universe free from the Force. So that's order in a sense. This man right here could have gone either way. What do you guys think? Did he vote chaos, order, or both? I'm thinking both." Zelot wrote, "Kreia is very individualistic. Teaches several lessons about how ideology holds us back or makes us slaves, and is struggling against the divine order of the galaxy, the will of the Force. I would place her as a chaotic evil on Dungeons & Dragons alignment axis, since she shows strong disregard for sapient life."
Our psychotic urge is all that drives you. He's too dangerous to leave alive. As distasteful as it is, it might be best to silence him forever. Until he's dead, all of Onderon is in peril, because I hate the Force. I hate that it seems to have a will, that it would control us to achieve some measure of balance when countless lives are lost.
I think that should just about do it. Besides these, I also notice a lot of people simply quoting Kreia. She is awfully quotable. But I also noticed many comments suggesting that the Force is an agent of chaos, or that Kreia sees it that way due to the Force maintaining a perpetual cycle of violent conflict. But if the violent conflict is being perpetuated, meaning it's by design, then how can it be chaos? Well, anyway, for my next Kreia's Conundrums, I've been thinking for a while now about Kreia's opinion of Yoda, specifically regarding one scene in particular that happens within the Clone Wars TV show. Any updates to it, I let my Exile level members know in the Discord server. Links for both of those are down below. I also have a second channel where I post very different content. Thank you as always for watching, and until next time, peace.